Good morning. Morning, everyone. Everyone ready? My colleague and I, Senator Malcolm Roberts, are pleased to announce our policy on behalf of One Nation for the people of Australia. This is about Australia's future. This is about putting money back into the pockets of Australians. It's about slashing government waste. And it's about tax reform and spending that the major political parties will never do. Thank you. Any questions? Right. No one has a question?
What are those policies?
Well,
That's a great question.
Right. We want to slash about approximately $90 billion from government waste and spending. Since the Albanese Labor government have taken over, they've increased their spending by approximately about $300 billion plus a year. It is unsustainable. It is a drain on our economy. It is a cost of living crisis for the Australian people. A lot of areas need to be addressed, as in the Climate Change Department needs to be gone. The Aboriginal Industry Department needs to be gone. We can reduce electricity prices for every Australian in business by 20% because the national energy market grid needs to be reined in. The NDIS needs to be addressed. Go back to the basics, what it was initially started for. Needs to be means tested. We need to take care of our doctors and the bulk billing that happens. People are denied the right to actually go and see a doctor, or not the right, but the affordability. We're losing GPs. We need to address the waste in Medicare and the fraud that is happening. These are all things that needs to be addressed. Governments have abused our taxpayer dollars. The waste is not acceptable. We also want to put in the pockets of Australians tax relief. We are one of the highest tax countries in the world. We have raised the fact of $40 billion can go back in the pockets of Australians. The aged pension and the veterans will have the opportunity to work as many hours as they want to without affecting their pension. That is a plus for the Australian people because they will be paying tax on their earnings without affecting their pension. These people have earned the right to that age pension. It will be added to the government if these people who've thrown on the scrap heap can't work, give them the opportunity. COVID has shown us that we've lost many people who have been necessary in the professions that we need, healthcare workers, education, teachers. These people, we will get back into the workforce under this plan. We also have proposed an income splitting for families with at least one dependent child. We will then incentivise families to help them in the cost of living crisis. Also, self-funded retirees will receive a tax incentive to the amount of $35,000 before they start paying tax. Self-funded independent retirees over the age of 67, if they're entitled to the pension age, they will benefit from this. Therefore, these are people who actually invest in the stock market or in homes that our Australians are renting from. We want to encourage that investment. Thank you.
That's a long list. Did you mention, Pauline, that we're going to halve fuel excise for 12 months and that would drop the petrol price to 26 cents a litre?
That's exactly right. So fuel excise is also on our list, and let me remind people that it was my insistence that it was a coalition government under Morrison that reduced fuel excise for 6 months. It worked then, it can work again. So that's where we are reducing fuel excise for at least 12 months, a reduction of 26 cents in each litre of fuel.
And these are measures that will come into place immediately, not some pipe dream in the future. These will give people help, put more money in people's pockets now.
What's the total cost of that, Chair, please?
It'll be a saving of these cuts to government departments and even education, cutting the education department from federal to give it to the states. There's duplication, a lot of departments, so that will save up to $90 billion. That's being conservative with it, and putting about $40 billion back in the pockets of Australians.
Senator, do you have a view on the hate crimes laws that are just about to pass the House in the next few minutes? Will you vote in favour of those and mandatory minimums when they go to the Senate later today?
I will have a look at those hate crime laws. Yes, I have actually voted against hate crime laws in the past, and more than likely will be voting for it.
You won't support them, or you will support them?
No, I possibly will support the hate crime laws by all means. There shouldn't be hate crimes in Australia.
And mandatory minimum sentences, mandatory jail time for those, you support that?
Yes, I do. Yes, there has to be. Until we clean up our act, be a problem. But I'm not here to discuss the legislation that's coming through. I'm here to discuss our policy, and this is for all Australians. I think we've actually taken an initiative here to address the concerns of Australians. Cost of living is killing many Australians, and when I see that Australians are living in tents under bridges, living in their cars, families can't afford. We have the Smith family advertising 1 million Australian kids are living in poverty, can't afford the school fees or tours, what happens at school. It's not the country that I grew up in, and things have to change. Yes, this may seem radical to a lot of people out there, but we're taking the initiative. And all I see in this place is the waste of money that goes on and on and on, and government departments. We don't see any improvements in our educational levels of our children. It's gone down. All I hear all the time is about the woke agenda that is happening. We need to get back to the basics, what governments are here for, and that's to provide a decent standard of living and a cost of living for the Australian people. That's what we're standing, and that's what we will continue to fight for.
Senator, what's your view on the Trump-Gaza plan?
I'm not going to discuss about the Trump-Gaza plan. I'm here to talk about Australians. They are the ones who actually I'm concerned about, not what's happening with Trump.
Strong views on this issue over the years, and some in recent times. Does this advance the cause of Middle East peace, do you think?
Trump is representing his country. I will represent mine. That's exactly what I'm doing now with this cost of living crisis in Australia. I don't believe Australians are terribly worried about what's happening over in the Middle East at the moment. And like I said, a lot of people don't have a roof over their head. When we're short 650,000 homes in Australia, we keep bringing in huge numbers of migrants to prop up the economy, but that's what the Labor Party has done. There has a big problem. There's a big problem with it. Sorry, I'm not going...
And that has partly been inspired by events in the Middle East. So it is having an effect in parts of the community and people, including people that you represent. So again, do you think...
This is the hate crimes that is happening in Australia, and it's disgusting to see that it happening. Yes, it is. But the whole fact is we haven't dealt with it. Our governments, our premiers and our Prime Minister has not dealt with what has been happening on our streets in our own country. And it's got to this stage. Even the Prime Minister cannot be upfront and really direct about dealing with this issue. So anyway, I'm not here to discuss it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.